Ladies, gentlemen, and all those in between and outside of those titles, welcome in. I hope everybody's having an amazing halfway to Halloween. I know that we are all enjoying it immensely. The interviews so far, all of the panels, all the questions and stuff you guys have been posting. Mwah, thank you all. So last year's halfway to Halloween, I got to host a panel talking to the stars of an upcoming anthology film called Christmas Cards from Hell. And it feels like forever ago. However, we now live in a world of delays, don't we? So without any more delay, I'm going to bring out the writer, the director, and our amazing host, our chief, Jimmy. Jimmy, come on in.
What is going on, man? How's it going, man?
Today is just such a blast and a half. Thank you so much every year for putting this together. This is just so much fun.
Yeah, without a question, I'm excited to definitely talk Christmas Cards from Hell with you today,
Now,
halfway to Halloween.
I know it's a sensitive subject, but the joy and the heartbreak of independent filmmaking is that delays for so many reasons happen. So
Sure.
I felt like you were on such a path this time last year. You were just trucking along and it was gonna be out already by now, and then stuff happened. Would you like to share some of that with us?
Well, it hasn't all been bad stuff. In fact, we just put out the trailer. Is it okay with you if we play said trailer?
Please.
So we can remind everybody exactly what the movie
is. This is the trailer that we premiered last year on Halfway to Halloween, correct?
No, this is a new. Since then, there has been a trailer. Yes. This is like
Wonderful.
a full minute and a half trailer for the film, and it predominantly features the film that we were talking about it last year, Halfway to Halloween. So, yes, here's trailer number uno for Christmas Cards from Hell.
All right.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Come on in. It looks like that storm isn't going to allow for easy travel anyways. You know, spending the holidays together, it's a life necessity, like breathing oxygen. I'd say when the patrols really started cracking down on holiday parties, it only made visitors who might not have seen each other for a long time push even harder to see each other. Now, I'm not usually one for gossip, but I heard Cheryl Thompson in line at PacSmart talk about a case her husband was on, and it was a real sick one. The way she tells it, one of the few survivors found told her husband like this, and I forewarn you like this, that some traditions shouldn't be broken, and bonds are thicker than blood.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right.
So, with that, first and foremost, one of the delays that we had kind of occur that you kind of got a taste of in that trailer, first and foremost throughout the whole process of Horrific Network and everything that we try to produce as far as film and everything, I really attribute a lot to Charlie. Charlie really is an inspiration. I really, really, really do look to Charlie a lot, and he was actually going to be the first narrator. So here's some kind of like a behind the scenes kind of look at some clips of Charlie. This was when we were filming, he and I, And
Oh, hello.
Charlie. So yeah, here's Charlie going through some of the reads, and Charlie was going through kind of a really rough time, and we tried filming these scenes before Christmas in November, and it just wasn't working for whatever reason. And I said, Charlie, don't worry about it. Um, don't worry about it. I want you to just be okay, because he was, like I was saying, going through a rough time. And I told Charlie,
Don't be shy.
we can do it again, and we did. We came back and we tried it again, and it just was not really working the way that we both wanted to, and he was very self-aware about it. And now we're getting to a point where I tell everybody how wonderful my wife is multiple times on the podcast, and every time in person, if you ask me, I will tell you. And she was being a sport about the Christmas decorations going up early and staying up later than normal because of filming these scenes. And it was to a point where we were like, I need someone before we take the Christmas decorations to do these scenes. And her uncle in-law, I guess is the best way to describe Zane's relationship with us. And he is a true, he did a really good job of coming in and delivering these lines of our narrator on, like, I'm talking 4 days notice. So
Wow.
Here's a clip of Zane delivering some of those lines.
Looks like it's going to be a real chiller out there. Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Come on in. Have a seat with me. It doesn't look like this storm is going to allow for easy travel anyway. Oh, hello, little friend. Looks like somebody forgot to put you away for the year. The debate between Halloween and Christmas was never something I really thought was a good use of my time.
And so, right there is a little prelude into what I am excited to talk about tonight, and that is the new short that is phase 2 of this film, very much Halloween and Christmas colliding, when two vloggers that I was so stoked to work with, Jason and Amber, Fast Pass with Us, they are trying to create content for their channel in Christmas Cards from Hell. It is the Creepy Karen show, but very much a relevant thing. They are playing pretty much just versions of themselves, man. And they go to their haunted house that is locally owned, and they're going to do a vlog because it's like the last creepy thing before really there is no more creepiness until Halloween, like whatever, And we were lucky enough to get John and Amber, and Ashley, Jason and Amber, but John and Ashley, to donate a Higby Horror Hunt to the cause. And I was really excited to have them involved in the process of making that second short, man.
That is awesome. And as anybody who's tuning in now who have been watching all day with us, you saw the panel earlier with Higby Horror Hunt describing what they're going to be doing this year differently and on all the events and everything they've got. What was it like filming inside a haunt? Did that pose its own challenges?
It was really cool. And one thing that it's now, before we bring those guys, into the panel, the one thing that, kind of delays of having to recast, and Zane, I thought did a great job on the, learning those lines. And he actually has a theater and background, and we got time to really focus on his scenes and for him to really kind of dial in exactly what it was that he wanted from his perspective and what I wanted from the director's perspective to be that creepy Mr. Rogers, factor. And I thought that was pretty cool, man. And
nice.
But one thing that I thought that it would be cool to kind of mess around with during that process of delay and just kind of having to sit back and really just kind of mess around with things was really kind of dial in color correction and make sure that it really works and it really looks the way that in my brain, the closest that I can get this thing to looking the way that I wanted it to look as possible. And so this is just kind of an example of that. Like last year.
Oh.
So last year, that is kind of like what it was looking at a year ago.
Yeah.
Versus right here, the whole thing, and I'll show a picture of the poster of the movie. This is more kind of like the style I was looking at. And if you kind of look at the after photo, it's more flat and it's more kind of like 80s Christmas, at least to me.
Yes.
And so what I wanted to do also in that regard was make like the crazy stuff like crazier looking, you know what I'm saying? Like give that kind of, different color palettes and different feels. I think that when we have the crazy stuff happen in this movie, that it needs to be like pretty crazy looking, you know what I'm saying? So of course this is from the first movie that we had a lot of footage from last year, but this is Gianna.
Yes.
So if you look at like the color correction process here, if you look at Drew is kind of the most notable difference there. But if you look at Josh too, and if you look at Gianna's eyes, like
Gianna right there in the middle, that's right there what you said. Those eyes, as an actress, she had such an amazing gift. I was lucky enough to be on set, and such an amazing gift to be so expressive with those eyes. And in you color correcting to this, you framed that beautifully.
Yeah, I think that the best way to describe all of what is happening, here is you're getting a true look into the character of Gianna. I love this scene a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
But like I was saying, so that really kind of like filled up the gap of what was I doing while we were kind of waiting and having to just kind of wait until we could get to the process of where we are now. And
but thankfully, you were able to move on from that first one that we just saw, the picture from with Gianna and Josh and Drew. And recently you were able to, at Higbee, work with Jason and Amber and John and Ashley, correct?
Right.
Should we bring them in?
Yeah, so right now, before we bring John and Ashley in, man, here, if you don't know Higbee, we played this during their big announcement that took place earlier this morning about their partnership with the Modesto Nuts. But if you don't know Higbee, man, and why I am excited for this short, here's a little tease of Higbee Horror Hunt for you.
I have 6 coffee.
Fine. Here we go.
My voice is out from screaming. That was the best haunted house. It was scary.
It was scary. It was awesome. It was one of the best
didn't
times
like
I've had in a
it.
haunted house, period. You gotta come. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. She fell down.
I did not appreciate any of it.
I'm sweating so much right now.
Just trying to catch my breath. It was very well done and way more fun than I thought it was gonna be.
Creepy.
And way creepy.
Definitely the best haunted house.
Legit.
I don't like
So there you go.
Um,
So let me welcome John and Ashley into the panel for us, so they can talk about Higby and we can talk about why we were stoked to finally get this thing done.
awesome. John and Ashley,
Hi, you guys.
Hey.
welcome. So, Master of Northern California Haunts here. What was it like getting the filming process there? You're used to presenting a live scare. What was it daunting to try and capture that, or was this a challenge for you guys?
I mean, it's a little bit of a challenge just because you're dealing with script and you're kind of having to redo takes and stuff like that, and having already some of the rooms are tight and small as it is. So once you add in a cameraman with a camera, there's a little bit more that you have to move around with, and so it does add its challenges, but it's still, you're still scaring and having a good time.
Awesome. Was this something that how long have you guys been talking with Jimmy about doing something like this?
Oh gosh, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, even Ghost Executioners, we did a little bit over there, but getting to kind of showcase more of the haunt as the film is super exciting. And for us, it's really cool because, we have that opportunity with it being set up in the building to where we're already set up and it's ready to go. So that made it a lot easier compared to now moving to the ballpark. We're not going to really have those options. So that's why it was really neat to get to do that before we're out of there.
Before you're out of that space, yeah.
It also added a little bit of time crunch, making sure that we could get everything in and get the shots that we needed before we start working for the next year. And, working with Jimmy and his schedule and our schedule and, trying to find the time to get in there and really nail that down. So
that was definitely something that was a little bit kind of a stress factor on the podcast, on the film, was getting it done before John had to kind of begin the process, because out of a very small group of people that knew, I was in that group that knew that, he's got this huge thing in the works in his life. And so I know that we have to film these scenes, and then it becomes a thing of continuity, right? Like, you want your characters to be pretty close throughout the film.
Yeah.
the
And
duration
so
of everything.
your like days need to kind of line up, and so no matter where you are in the process, like, we need to figure it out. So adjusting for a certain time period is one thing, but getting that adjustment down for the entire time that you're at a location, I think makes it easy. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of got everything we needed at the haunt in the day that we were there. So we really had a point where John was like, we have a group of 5 or 6 haunters that are going to be available, and we can have them switch costumes. And I was like, as long as they're okay with that, on my end, that's actually better, because that's less to manage. And they knew exactly what I wanted. Took little, it took literally no direction from me to them. It took on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a number 2 direction from me to John to tell them. So John was literally like, what do you want them to do? And I'm like, we're going to come through like this. This is when fill in the blank happens. How do you think they should be staged? John's like, you should stage them like this. I'm like, okay, then I'm going to move the camera like this. John's like, okay. John would go tell them, like, the process, man, I'm telling you, working with John that day made the process go. It could have easily been like, if it was like our first time, could have easily been like an 8-hour day.
Yeah.
And we literally got that done in like 2 hours.
That is amazing and speaks to both of your guys' style, first of all, as far as being able to do what you do professionally, both of you. Jimmy, this is the second time now out of the Christmas Cards from Hell, out of 3 stories, 2 of them have taken place filming wise in a location that you can't do reshoots in if you want to. That's dangerous for a lot of directors. Do you feel that not having a safety net makes you push harder on the day to get everything you want? Or do you feel that it's well, look, we've got this one shot, let's just feel organically what happens?
It makes me feel very uneasy now. Thanks, Jay.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, good. I'm glad I could give you an anxiety attack. That's my goal. No, I'm saying that only because of the fact that some of us have been lucky enough to see bits and pieces of the finished product from the first one, at least, as you've been working on it, and it's obviously worked out in your favor. And I can assume from how you're talking, especially with saying how you were able to communicate with John and John moving that information on to the Haunters, the idea seems like that's, again, worked out for you, that you very much were able to focus on, this is our moment, let's capture it all. So is that feels like it's something that's becoming part of your style, sir, but also not a detriment as it would be to others. It feels like it's something that is pushing you forward. So I just wanted to know if that was something that you had taken into consideration, but obviously by me freaking you out. Sorry about that.
No, I'll tell you what it really is, man, is it's a expectation thing, right? Like, it is a thing. Like, I showed Brooke Lewis Bellas this earlier when I was talking to Brooke Lewis Bellas about something, and I said, between this halfway to Halloween and last halfway to Halloween, things in the filmmaking perspective for the Horrific Network have been looking up. And she goes, I've heard things, but she's like, how have they been looking? And I just went like this. And I said, they've been looking up, like, and now, with that, comes expectation, though. So now the expectation of Christmas Cards from Hell isn't like, let's do our best anymore. It's this thing better be as good as Ghost Executioner. And like, if it's not as good as Ghost Executioners, man, like, I'm going to be personally disappointed. But
if you stop and think about it in the way of that if you've already done something such as achieve that award with what you were already doing without expecting to win awards from, then it's not so much that you need to match what you've done before. You need to continue doing things the way you've done things, with the adding in the new stuff you've learned, such as, like you said, with the delay, you really started fine-tuning color correction, and that has enhanced what you already did. So that I don't feel it's so much that you have to strike lightning twice. You already have the eye. You're going to continue moving forward with that.
Right. And that's my point, is it doesn't necessarily need to win, but I personally needed to see it get into and be in more conversation. So I need to be in more film festivals. I need to be more in the eyes of more people. I know it's a very like that sounds very condescending and it sounds very conceited, I guess, but it's not a matter of being like it sounds very ego driven, but I don't mean it that way at all. But what I mean by that is the fact that it is a very ego thing, but at the same time, I have the confidence in the work and knowing that it needs to be seen by that many people. You just said color correction, and I really want to get to a point where we get these guys in here
Yes.
that worked with John and Ashley. But here is a look at my favorite scene, at least one of them, of the entire thing we've done so far. And this is under the new process that I have been messing with. But this is the scene with Gianna on the porch with the new palette. So take a look, and then we will bring in the guys from the house.
Can I help you guys?
Sorry we're late.
Late for what?
The party. Don't you want to let us in?
Sorry, you guys are a little late.
Oh, come on. You know what they say. There's no place like home for the holidays.
Help!
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah, I do too. That was a fun time at that location for this movie. But go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was gonna say, I know we have Drew here, right?
Well, we have Drew here, but before Drew, I want to bring in Jason and Amber.
Jason and Amber from the newest one.
From the newest one, absolutely.
Wonderful. So, are Jason and Amber in here?
Yes. So there is Amber, and here is Jason.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Going great. How are your guys' halfway to Halloween?
Spooky.
Spooky?
Yeah.
Spooky.
As every day should be.
Yep.
Wonderful. So how did both of you jump on board this madness train?
Well, Jimmy actually had written the script already, and then he had reached out to me and asked if I was interested in it. And when I read the part, I literally, like Jimmy said, I was sitting there going, I feel like this is Amber and I. And that's when Jimmy was like, do you think Amber would do it too? And I said, oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were just like, and especially like with the success of Ghost Executioners, we were honored to even be asked to be a part of this one. So,
oh, absolutely. I was stoked.
Yeah, very, very excited.
Now, both Jimmy and John talked about the tight space and the work that the Haunters did. As performers in this, how was that process for you guys?
So I actually I don't know how much Jimmy wants me to give away here, but I'm the video recorder of the movie.
Okay.
So, but Jimmy is recording it, and I'm right behind him walking through the maze.
Gotcha.
So he can get my audio.
Yeah.
We're approaching the line in which probably don't cross.
Okay.
So very tight, very tight.
For lack of a better term, he's baby Bjorning you on a backpack.
Yep.
He is carrying you through a haunted house.
Pretty close. Yeah.
So
Jimmy and I got a lot closer after filming these scenes.
Well, making art makes strange bedfellows at times. Yes.
Yes.
Amber, how was that process for you?
Honestly, I'm not used to being in front of a camera, so I don't really have anything to draw off of for prior experiences. But I mean, I never felt like I was in close quarters except for one particular moment where I had to run past the camera, and at that point, that was kind of a cluster. There was a lot of bumping into people, but yeah. Otherwise, I felt like I had plenty of space to move around. So
I will say it was definitely like for as much room as you think you may have in a haunted house, you definitely realize you don't have so much room once you get to a certain point in this thing, man. I think that in trying to maneuver with the camera, and like Jason said, with Jason, because it kind of became a point of like, where are we going to go back and like just record Jason and get his voiceover work like after the fact? Like, how are we going to do this whole thing? And at a certain point, it really kind of became okay, here we go. Now we're doing this. So here we are. And we're gonna film it with Jason right by the camera, and we'll use his voiceover depending on what room we're in the haunted house, and we'll match it up as best as we can. And we were very fortunate in being able to get a lot of it pretty easily, but there were some complications. But I have right here, this hasn't really been edited, but this is just like kind of an example of a take of doing found footage, right? And so this is a scene that was really hard for, I think, everybody. Like, and when I say everybody, I mean Jason, Amber, John, the girl, and your other clown, who I'm sorry that I'm forgetting what their names were, but like this was very much so in found footage, like it's very much a one take game. Like there is no cut. And so you have to find reasons to cut the footage. And so what you're going to see is like us trying to get to a reason to cut the footage, right? And so in doing that, you create like it gives yourself like an excuse to like add like a static effect or whatever to add to the found footage like aesthetic, but it gives you an out to make a cut. So this is us getting from point A to point B, knowing that we have to have a cut because it's just not going to make sense without a cut. So this is us getting to a cut. And this probably took us more times than any other scene that we filmed inside the haunted house.
So it's everyone's favorite.
Oh yeah,
I know.
And it may like
I know, me too.
when you see it, you may be like this, but yes, this. So here, again, it hasn't been like color corrected. It hasn't really been edited.
Very raw footage for us.
But yes, but we have. I wanted to show you guys like some kind of like a clue as to what we were doing. And us, as far as this film, have one more day of filming left to plan out and do. So it's not even to like, you're looking at a trailer for this short coming out probably around the end of June.
Oh.
So that's like kind of something to look forward to as we are planning our days for filming the third part and then getting this thing out in time for fall. But this is one of those scenes. So here you go.
Video helps
All right.
make your numbers go even higher.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, can you shut that off? Actually happened 3 times already. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know if we got some kind of rivalry or what, but
And so there's one of the scenes. So that's like no effects, no music, nothing like that. That's just like one thing. But to literally like get it to where because Jason says something like immediately after that.
Yeah.
Right. So
He's
Jason
supposed to.
Jason was right next to me. So he is trying his hardest to stay out of the shot. Amber is on the other side of me because that shot is literally on her reaction, John's reaction, and then I move down with the camera and into it, right?
Yeah.
So staying out of the way so the girl can run out of the haunted house. John staying out of my way so I can move out of his, like, it was all like a process of getting that shot down. So I'm really
beautiful choreography.
Yes. I'm really
I just picture either A, you had tango lessons, or B, a big whiteboard with like Friday Night Lights. All right, so you're going to go in, sweep around back this way.
It took a couple tries, that's for sure.
There are a lot of funny movements that happened.
How many people got bumped over a little too far?
No, it didn't seem like
Actually,
it was that
not
bad.
that bad.
All right.
I think I ran into Jimmy one time.
Yeah, I was gonna say we knocked it out maybe in 3 takes. It took us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was more than that.
I think it was too.
I want to say I think it was
somebody
like 10.
can remember their lines.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
No, that would no, yeah.
Go ahead, throw other people under the bus. Come on.
Well, because that was the
It
instance
was
where-
Jason who wasn't saying his words.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we hit a point where we started laughing, and then when you try to get back into it and you hit that point, you start giggling again.
Yeah.
Once you get
That
the
was me.
giggles,
Yeah,
That is
so
on.
we
Yeah.
had one of those moments. So
oh,
And I would like to say it was pretty cool. Amber and I had our son, our 5-year-old there, Flynn, and he got to dress up and be one of the scare actors throughout the movie.
Yes.
So I don't know if he's going to make any of the cuts, but he is in several spots in all the different mazes. He made the rounds, so he was very excited about that.
Absolutely terrifying to have.
It was terrifying because he's so tiny.
Dude.
yeah, no, I can see that being a standout scare right there.
Yeah, I think
Jimmy,
that
what else is going on with Christmas Cards from Hell?
well, I think that everyone in the house has an appreciation for Higby. We can let's just say that too. Like everybody came in to Higby super excited over the fact that we got to film inside of Higby, which is an attraction that we've all scared for and we've all gone for in our like media personas, our Clark Kent figures. And it's like it's kind of cool to be able to say that we've experienced both sides of Higby, which I think makes us like Higby even more. I think that it definitely makes us have an appreciation for the fact that we got to make a film at Higby Horror Haunt.
When you got to capture some of the magic of Higby on film forever now.
Yeah.
On film. See how old I am?
Well, we know what you mean.
No, 35 millimeter. I got out there with my big megaphone. Yeah, no.
I mean, it's always fun for us to open up the haunt and make it somebody else's playground besides our own. You know what I mean? Like to have Jimmy come in and have a vision and be a visionary for something completely different than what we see the haunt as. It just makes it grow and love our passion for it even more because we see the duality in it, the things that we can do differently with it. It's lended hand to a couple of movies and a couple of scenes, and the building's been really great for that. And then now you have Christmas Cards from Hell, where Jay and Amber started out with the haunt. Like they were there from the origin and coming through now, and to see them go through it and now act in it has come full circle for them as well. And so I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I definitely think for John, very happy to go lucky, ready to make a return.
I keep wanting to go lock my door every time I hear the sound.
Hopefully, I wish I could direct, but I'm only 14, man. I'll tell you what, dude. 14,
Yeah,
14 I
seriously.
was directing for sure.
Start at 14. What's stopping you?
We were
Start at
making.
10.
We were definitely making films.
You have a camera right here. You don't have to spend some equipment. Start. Do something.
Yeah, they were very dumb films, but they were definitely films, and I was definitely directing them.
Tell me, is there any difference between this and when Sam Raimi was given a 35 millimeter when he was 9? No.
I mean, my films centered around my buddy being a killer. My buddy's beagle was a killer velociraptor.
Yes.
I made a short film when I was like 11 with an old big giant VHS that was bigger than most of me. My buddy and I, he was a superhero that was killing KKK members because we had just learned about the KKK in history class.
Yeah, Bub and I have been making like just homemade fun videos since I was in middle school. He was in elementary school, so
Yeah.
there's
Jay
no
has-
age cap to this. You can start whenever you want.
Yeah. Jay has 3 great films under his belt that we watch on a regular.
Oh, stop.
Disney Adventure has been on repeat the past couple days. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah. Zombies is still one of my favorites.
I made one Backrooms video. I guess you can color me old. I don't know what the hell that means, man. But,
Backrooms is part of a lore or creepypasta about what happens when you glitch out of reality and you find yourself in liminal space.
Well, goddamn, I love that concept.
Yeah, look up Backrooms videos on YouTube or lore about it. It's the whole idea that if we're all in a simulation, at any moment we could accidentally clip through reality and fall into a level that hasn't loaded yet.
So it's Doctor Strange too.
I guess. Yeah. Except it looks more like old 70s or 80s office houses, office parks and stuff. Like it's all yellow wallpaper and soggy carpet is what it's all, the back rooms. Sorry, I know deep dives on some weird crap. Sorry.
Well, it's a good thing that you're here because
Yeah.
none of the rest of us knew what it was. So
Yeah, I thought it was the backstage casting couch thing you was
That's
talking
what I
about.
thought.
No, that's my back room. That was the film I starred in college.
With soggy carpets? Oh Lord.
Only in the final scene, Ashley. Thank you. Spoilers. Jimmy, what else do you have to share for us today that you can? Because one of my favorite things about Halfway to Halloween is the ability to tease all of our viewers. And I know that you have some more information on the rest of Christmas Cards from Hell.
So first and foremost, let me just say, can we appreciate something that a year ago, this was not Christmas Cards from Hell. This was called Campfire Chronicles, the movie. And between now and then, I have found a very cool artist who is I'm trying to convince her to go to art school. I haven't found her. She's only in high school. My wife's mom's best friend's niece. So like a friend of a friend of a friend of a family member type of a situation. But she is gifted in one of those like prodigy ways, as far as I am concerned. And she drew the 3 Christmas cards that are featured in the Christmas Cards from Hell.
Oh, the poster.
Oh, that's cool.
Holy shit.
Really?
And so
those very much looked like authentic vintage postcards.
Yeah.
And so
I didn't know that those were hand created by someone. That's amazing.
those are hand drawn. The only thing that has been altered on them in that poster is the color.
Wow.
So
that is amazing work. No,
and so
That's fantastic.
the first thing that we have drawn, or the first thing that we have filmed, I should say, that is pretty much completed, is the middle one, Home for the Holidays.
yes,
The one that we have talked about to some extent today and featured a little bit of footage from is the don't try to cry, but the house is really kind of the code name for that. And then the one that we're about to give a little bit of information for is called The Gift, is what the code name for that one, and that is that yellow tinted Christmas card there on the bottom. But I love this poster a lot, man. This is probably my favorite poster for a film that I have done.
Yeah, this is legit.
I'm hoping that's going to be available merch at some point, because
yeah,
I would like that poster on my wall.
Yeah,
yeah, it is, bud.
Agreed, buddy. Agreed.
Can I find? I will. Well, you can find me, man. The Roblox thing is coming up next at 5:30.
5:30, just in a little bit.
Just in a little bit.
Roblox.
Director Jimmy. But I think, man, that the coolest thing right now to end the panel with is knowing now that in that third story that is part of this film, it is centered around this guy who is kind of like house sitting for his uncle, who is somewhat of an adventurer. And I am modeling this dude after this dude from a Disney ride in Hong Kong that is like this like Mystic Manor, like he just collects all this stuff from everywhere type of a thing. And as this guy is house sitting for his uncle, he has this package that he is unwrapping, and it is this idol. And we hear a little bit of information about the idol via voiceover, and the uncle is sending the idol home, and he's pretty much just asking his brother, or I'm sorry, not his brother, his nephew, to look over the idol, and he will be home as soon as he can to relieve the nephew of watching the house and this new idol, pretty much just make sure nothing happens to the idol, etc., etc. And things really kind of go amok and kind of spin psychologically, going kind of on a spiral of sorts. And Jay is going to be playing the nephew role. And
Yay!
I think that one thing that I pride myself on in a sentimental way is the fact that Charlie, in anything that I have done that is that I consider to be like a big thing, Charlie has had a role in. So Door to Door he was in, Ghost Executioners he was in, Killers, which was looked at by a lot of important people, he was in. Everything Charlie really is the inspiration for me. Like he really is the guy for me that keeps me going. And so I really wanted to find a way to get Charlie involved in this. And I talked about at the beginning of the panel that he was not, that we recasted and we had Zane come in, who did a great job. I am so happy that we found Zane for Christmas Cards from Mel. He is perfect. And my God, the final scene is all I'm going to say. The final scene, Zane, is amazing. Amazing, amazing. Like Charlie, I love Charlie so much, but Zane delivers a performance that Charlie could not in the final scene. It is like, it's perfect. Like Zane is perfect for the role, especially with the color palette. So like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
He almost sounds like the snowman too from like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like one of those like Christmas like, introduction, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that down for sure.
And so, but you know, the kind of the cherry on top was that this third film calls for some voiceover work, and here is the guy who is going to do the voiceover work for the third film. It is our buddy Charlie.
Hey,
Hey!
Officially gonna be my uncle, Charlie.
So there,
It's gonna be great working with you. I love it.
Is he muted?
Oh, I think you have some volume issue or mute problem.
yes, Charlie has muted himself. That is,
I have muted, yes, but
Hey, there he is.
the dogs
the
are going
dog-
crazy right now.
That's
Dogs
why
are
they
going
knew you were
crazy. Well,
recording.
there is
so
your-
say hi.
Charlie, you can. I'll mute you, Charlie, with the dogs going crazy. But I just want to put Charlie in the stream so we can get that photo up. Everybody, please kind of look and smile and such. Christmas cards from hell 2022 at halfway to Halloween. There we are. Anyway, we got it. Thank you.
He's not going to say he's got it. Where he's going to make us just stand there like idiots for a while.
No, yeah, that's exactly what we were going to do. Absolutely. Okay. I am excited, man. That was really what it really boils down to. This film, for it to come out in the fall, it's way overdue. It's way behind. But we have had a lot of things behind the scene, like I had mentioned, happen that have kind of delayed us. And at the end of the day, this is all because we love it, not because we need nor have to do it. And that's not like a disrespectful thing whatsoever. That is just a kind of like reality thing. And this year, I think more than any other year, has also kind of taught myself that this is not what is important. Like this is what is like work. Like it is working, and it is getting better, and we are like getting noticed. And you can put a lot of things in the positive column, but when you have something happen in the negative column, no matter what the degree of the negative is, it carries more weight than a lot of the things that would go into that positive column. So that has made me look at this thing as if we get it done in time for the end of summer 2022, that is a win, just because that way we can get it into like SAC Horror Film Festival would be dope to premiere it at this year, just because it's the holiday season. So it would be like, that's like kind of like the back of my mind goal to kind of have this thing rolling out into stuff right around that time. So I would be stoked to have it ready to go at that point.
That'd be amazing.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Then next halfway Halloween, we can talk about how many other festivals it's traveling to.
Hopefully, man.
Look over to your left, Jimmy. Tell me that you expected to ever see that award there that you have to your left.
I did not.
Don't say hopefully. Just let that happen. All right. It just keeps happening.
All right.
All right. I know halfway to Halloween is not over yet. right after this panel, we've got Jimmy's Roblox going on. So do not forget that. And don't forget, all day tomorrow is still halfway to Halloween. Plenty of amazing panels, plenty of amazing guests and other podcasts, and all of this for Hunters Against Hate. So thank you. And I am very honored to get to be a part of a project with all of you now. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait that we get to do some of this stuff in person.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all
soon.
for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
For sure.
Bye.
Okay, so we will be right back. If you are following, we will be right back in the feed for our Universal Roblox feed. Super stoked. Take you guys on all the rides. This is going to be a jolly good time, you guys. I cannot wait for this thing to happen. Anyway, we will be back. And at that moment, we will be inside the Roblox game and ready to take you guys on the Universal adventure. So, coming right back at you.
Lego.